Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
It's a foggy start in some places. I'll show you what it will look like as you head out the door where you are.
Taking the stand, a Raleigh store owner accused of murder will testify in his own defense today. What we're expecting to hear in the Tazir Zarqa murder trial.
And massive community repairs, $1 million could go to fixing up Durham's Fayetteville Street corridor. The goals the city's leaders hope to meet through the funding. Welcome in here on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Nate Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your Monday here, the last full week before big holiday season.
I have to shop still.
Oh, well, I'm sure you're not alone. There's a lot of folks out there. But as we get to work and to school here on our Monday, Elizabeth Gardner in the WRS Severe Weather Center. Pretty mild out there. I think that's leading to some of this fog.
It is, definitely. So as we continue to cool things down, there's some moisture in the atmosphere, and that is creating some low cloud cover, which you can see here in North Hills. We definitely have the potential for some fog, but mostly what we've seen is low cloud cover. That means the bottom of the clouds is still a few hundred feet off of the ground. 42 is our temperature currently, so we're not close to freezing this morning. Visibility is 1 mile in Durham and Raleigh. Quarter-mile visibility would be fog, and so we're just not quite there yet. But, you know, these are just specific sensors. There may be some rural areas where that fog is a lot thicker. 36 in Roxborough is our cool spot, 49 in Fayetteville, and Clinton 49 in Rocky Mount. So, again, pretty mild morning for us. Our temperature this afternoon climbs into the low 60s with just a little bit of sunshine. I'm tracking a front that's going to bring us a small chance for rain on Wednesday. I'll show you the timeline coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, a quiet start to the morning commute so far. Just have reports from our friends at Raleigh Wake 911. Just a minor crash in North Raleigh on Ramble Way. So if that sounds familiar to you, just know that you'll run into some police activity in that area. Let's give you a live look now at I-40 and Wade Avenue. Traffic has definitely picked up a bit, but flowing nicely in both directions. If you're getting ready to head out this morning, do us a favor. Tune us in on the radio. You can do so on 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
I'm Brad Neese here in the WRAL Live Center following some breaking news out of Johnston County, where a number of sheriff's deputies are at the scene of a home on Santa Gertrudis Drive. You can see the video here just into the newsroom of that scene. There's the crime scene tape that is surrounding a home. There's a deputy right in front of the garage there on the left side of the screen. We're working to learn more information about why they were called to this scene. We know that investigators are there collecting evidence from inside this home and around this property. We have a crew on the way to the scene to gather some more information. As soon as we get that, we'll pass it along.
All right, thank you, Brad. A Raleigh grocery store owner who's accused of killing a customer will be back on the stand this morning when his murder trial resumes. WRAL's Heidi Kirk joins us live from the Wake County Courthouse. And Heidi, attorneys say Tazir Zarqa will claim self-defense on the stand today.
Michelle, good morning. This is a case that we've been following now for years, and it's all coming to a head inside the Wake County Courthouse this week. In fact, last week, every day, we had WRAL reporters inside the courtroom where this was happening. Now, Tazir Zarqa could face up to 20 years in prison for the crimes if he's convicted. Now, you'll remember, Zarqa is charged with stabbing 27-year-old Mark Garrity to death in April 2023 during an alleged shoplifting attempt. Now, on Friday, the judge allowed the jury to go to Taz's supermarket to gain an understanding of where the stabbing happened. Now, also on Friday, the state pointed out his supermarket was a hotbed for crime, with police responding there hundreds of times over the last 5 years.
Trespassing, larcenies, your standard disturbance.
Now, we're expecting Zarqa to take the stand yet again here at the Wake County Courthouse. First thing this morning, we're expecting that testimony to go for quite a while. And of course, we'll have reporters there covering this every step of the way. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in downtown Raleigh.
And WRAL will be there as Zarqa takes the stand to testify today. Tune into our newscast from 4 to 7:30 this evening for updates on closing statements and when the jury heads into deliberation. Authorities are trying to find a wrong-way driver whose crash killed a woman and left 3 people, including a child, seriously hurt in Johnston County. It happened on Highway 70 near the Cornwallis Road overpass about 3 a.m. Sunday. 2 cars hit head-on after a BMW went the wrong direction on the highway. 4 people were in the car that was hit. The front passenger, 24-year-old Courtney Atkins, died on the way to the hospital. The driver and 2 passengers in the back seat were seriously hurt as well. One of those passengers was a boy under 5 years old. Troopers say the wrong-way driver ran away after that crash.
Durham City Council is moving forward with plans to revitalize Fayetteville Street. WRAL's Laura Levine shares how council could begin approvals on this multi-million-dollar project today.
Today, Durham City Council is expected to pass a contract to begin making repairs on the Fayetteville Street corridor. This is part of a $10 million investment in this area in the Hayti High community. So take a look at this. The first $1.75 million City Council will vote on today is for repairs and services at certain properties in the area outlined in pink on this map. The Hayti High community has seen historic disinvestment, especially after the construction of the Durham Freeway. The plan is to start stabilizing the structures that are already there, then address the code violations and work with homeowners. Other priorities include business incubation and beautification. Mayor Pro Tem Mark Anthony Middleton says they're really trying to address historical inequities.
There are a lot of buildings, structures along the Fayetteville Street corridor that are unsafe, they're uninhabitable, they're a draw for illicit activity, for crime.
So this funding will come from the American Rescue Plan Act. City Council will review the contract, and they are expected to pass it when they meet tonight at 7 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Durham.
Several people are out of their apartments this morning after a large fire at a complex in Goldsboro. That apartment complex is on Peachtree Street in Goldsboro, and the fire spread to several units in the building. No one was hurt. Investigators are trying to figure out how that fire started.
And WRAL has learned the name of the man accused of assaulting 2 people, stealing a tow truck, and crashing it into a business in Apex. An arrest warrant identifies the suspect as 49-year-old Raquab Overton. It says that he punched at least 2 people before stealing a tow truck. The warrant then accuses Overton of assaulting someone with the tow truck. Police say he crashed the truck into a gun and coin business on William Street. The building has been condemned because of that damage. Overton is facing numerous charges, including assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill.
Clayton Police Department released these pictures of a man accused of robbing a bank at gunpoint. This happened on Friday, shortly before 5 o'clock in the evening at the Wells Fargo on Executive Drive. Police say 6 employees and 2 customers were inside the bank at the time. If you have any information about the suspect, you're asked to contact police.
Many parents are calling on Congress to pass a bill that would create more safeguards for young people online. The Kids Online Safety Act would require platforms to have safeguards in place for minors. That would include restricting access to their personal data and parental tools. The bill overwhelmingly passed through the Senate back in July. It also made it through a House committee. However, House Speaker Mike Johnson says the legislation is dead for now.
Needs a little more tweaking, and we'll do that. I think we can do it early next year and get that achievement done, and I'm grateful for all the hard work that's been done on it.
Legislators say the speaker is one of the few in opposition to the policy as it stands.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will meet with senators on Capitol Hill this week. He's working to drum up support ahead of formal hearings to put him in charge of the nation's health agencies. Kennedy is facing scrutiny over past comments he's made about vaccines. Political leaders on both sides of the aisle are expressing concern over his views on vaccines for diseases like polio. Kennedy's team has been walking back some of those comments in recent weeks. President-elect Donald Trump has stood by Kennedy as his pick for health secretary.
The man accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson could be indicted this week in New York. Luigi Mangione is currently being held at a jail in Pennsylvania. A source familiar with the case says a grand jury could be asked to hand up an indictment this week against him. This would strengthen the Manhattan District Attorney's case for extradition by making the charges official. Mangione's lawyers say they will fight the extradition. Well, coming up, drone detection, the new technology headed to the Northeast as people there are trying to figure out what's flying over their heads at night.
And an honor for Brenda Moore, how Governor Roy Cooper is celebrating the Canes coach for all his successes on and off the ice.
And this morning, we're dealing with some low cloud cover and some patchy fog. I'll show you what it will look like as you head out the door.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
612, taking a look at Rocky Mount Mills this morning. You sort of see the tower all lit up, but because it is lit up, definitely dealing with some low cloud cover and fog in parts of the viewing area this morning. Visibility right now, 1 mile in Durham and Raleigh. It's 2 miles in Roxborough, South Hill, and Rocky Mount. Quarter-mile visibility would be fog. So most of what we're seeing is low cloud cover. That just means the bottom of the cloud is just a few hundred feet off the surface. So it looks cloudy, maybe a little drizzly, but the visibility isn't terrible out there. Temperatures are mostly in the 40s this morning. 41 in Lewisburg, 49 Fayetteville, 47 Irwin, 40 degrees in South Hill. So on the mild side, and we'll climb up into the low 60s this afternoon. But how about adding 10 degrees to that tomorrow? I'll show you how close we'll end up being to record highs coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. A quiet start to your morning commute this morning. We're going to take a look at some of those drive times into the capital city. Let's start here. Very little to no delays on any of the major routes coming into the capital city this morning. Similarly, in Durham, clear sailing in all directions on those major routes. So that's really good news to report. You're getting ready to head out. Pop us on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
All right, thank you, Ken. The federal government is using a new tool to try to figure out what's going on with those mysterious drones that have been spotted in the Northeast. So-called drone detectors are now on their way to New York. That's according to Governor Kathy Hochul. An FBI official says they've received thousands of reports over the past few weeks. Yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer urged federal officials to use 360-degree drone tracking technology to track the drones. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says there is no sign of foreign involvement, but despite these assurances, people say they want more answers.
Are you skeptical when you hear that?
I mean, it's a security threat to the whole world, so I don't know how they could say that.
Reports of mysterious objects in the sky are happening across the country, not just New York. Boston police arrested 2 people over the weekend who say they were flying a drone dangerously close to Logan Airport. The FAA also says it has received multiple reports of people shining lasers at planes in airspace spanning New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
The maker of the backpack worn by the person who shot the CEO of United Healthcare says the company and its staff have received threats. This comes after rumors that investigators used the bag to track down and arrest the suspect. In a statement, Peak Design CEO Peter Daring said the company has not provided any customer information to the police and would only do so under the order of a subpoena. He also said the backpack the shooter wore did not have any type of uniquely identifying serial number.
Durham public school leaders are trying to put an end to a years-long problem, the shortage of bus drivers. Parents are being asked to drive their students to school at least once a week until mid-January. And one county commissioner is taking matters into his own hands. Vice Chair Mike Lee has served on the Durham Public Schools Board of Education for 8 years. He's a parent of 2, and he decided to get his commercial driver's license. He's been picking up shifts to help take students to schools when needed. He began by driving activity buses for extracurricular school events, including this past Friday.
I have a doctorate. I'm a customer success executive. Now I'm a county commissioner. But one of the highlights of my days is driving the bus. It is so wonderful. So the kids say thank you all the time. It is just, it is so wonderful to sit behind the bus. It's so exciting. My wife teases me all the time how excited I get when I get an assignment to drive the bus.
It's fantastic. Lee hopes to inspire others to get their commercial driver's license and chip in. He said the district is looking at all options to solve this driver shortage, including possibly partnering with city bus lines to reduce ridership on school buses with older students.
Impressive skill set he's got. Carolina Hurricanes head coach Rod Brind'Amour received a big honor after last night's game. After the Canes beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-1, Governor Roy Cooper joined the team in the locker room, and he presented Brind'Amour with a membership to the Longleaf Pine Society.
As a coach, as a parent, involvement in youth hockey, and when you think about all of the jobs that the Carolina Hurricanes have brought to North Carolina and their success and the interest in seeing all of these families coming out here, this guy has created a culture of winning and working hard and getting rewarded for your hard work.
And good timing after a big win on home ice. Cooper has previously presented membership to former Duke head basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski. He also says that he will be present for membership, or present, I should say, membership to former UNC head basketball coach Roy Williams this week.
So well-deserved for Brind'Amour, though. It's amazing. All right, let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. She's got a look around town as we start our Monday morning.
It's a little bit foggy in some places. We're looking at low cloud cover. You can see that, especially here at North Hills. Low cloud cover. Low clouds just mean that the bottom of the clouds is a few hundred feet above the surface. If it's fog, the cloud is on the ground and you're driving through the cloud, and that definitely makes it a little trickier to get around in the morning. But things are looking pretty good for Fayetteville, Apex, and Chapel Hill this morning. Chapel Hill is courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Here's a look at the big picture. We do have some thunder and lightning along a cold front that's back to our west. Up underneath this front, we're mostly seeing our wind coming from the south, so it's warming things up. We're going to see a big jump in our temperature for tomorrow and Wednesday. And then on the other side of this front, we have some much colder air. So we're about to get into that temperature roller coaster again. We will likely see some rain with this, but nothing like what that front looks like currently. This is a look at Wednesday morning. We'll be dry for much of the rest of today and tomorrow, but you can see a few isolated showers during the morning commute on Wednesday. And most of the rain with this front will end up going to the north, but we could see a few afternoon showers as well. The model runs out to about 1:30 or so right now. Just a tiny chance. We had a little rain overnight last night. Could see a sprinkle today, but not expecting to see very much rain at all. And then Wednesday also just a very small chance, a 30% chance. What we're tracking is much colder air behind that front. Big dip of the jet stream. Arctic air returns by Saturday, and Saturday is officially the first day of winter. We will stay dry as we get into that colder air. So it's hard around here to be able to line up the precipitation and the cold air. So when we see a little bit of light rain on Wednesday, temperature 71 degrees. And then Sunday morning, we drop it all the way down to 25. And at that point, it will be dry, dry, dry. So we'll be watching the system to the west as we get into Christmas. Our chance of a white Christmas is pretty minimal. We'll take a quick sneak peek. Our chance of 1 inch of snow between now and Christmas is 4% to 1 to 4%. But 29% chance in Boone. So if you're looking for some snow, they may end up getting some. Look at this big drop in our temperature on Sunday, only 39 degrees. We'll talk a little bit more about what's ahead as we get into Christmas week. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to give our viewers a live look at one of our major roads this morning. This is I-40 and Jones Sausage Road. Traffic flowing nicely in both directions. And in terms of delays on I-40 this morning, we're not seeing any delays whatsoever. So if that's part of your morning commute, you're going to get to the office or your appointment or wherever you're headed this morning on time. As you can see from our live traffic sensors this morning, from Wendell to Raleigh to Chapel Hill, nothing but green showing up on the map. If you're getting ready to head out this morning, you hop in your car, turn us on the radio. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the triangle. If you don't have 101.5 HD3, you have an opportunity to listen to us on 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
All right, thanks, Ken. Cary is getting some national recognition ahead of Christmas as you take a live look right now downtown Cary Park. The honor the town is getting as a haven for holiday travelers.
And Macaulay Culkin had some plans for the house where he was left home alone. What he wanted to do if he owned it. That's ahead in What's Trending.
And here are your winning MC Education lottery numbers on your screen. We're back with What's Trending in a moment.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Macaulay Culkin says he's considered buying the Home Alone house.
Can you imagine? Also, Netflix is changing up its annual Yule log stream. Ken Smith here now with what's trending, Ken.
Jeff and Michelle, two very popular holiday traditions, but let's start with that Home Alone house that went up for sale last spring. Culkin said he wanted to turn the Chicago area home into a movie fun house. His vision was giving visitors a chance to sled down those infamous stairs, just like he did when he played Kevin McAllister back in the movie.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, he says he considered it, but when asked why he actually didn't, he said, well, I'm busy. I have kids. I have 2 kids. He has 2 sons. But it was funny because one of his sons, he said last week, his son thinks that he is him in the movie. He said, Dad, that's me. And he's like, no, that's me.
That is classic.
Playing Kevin. So super cute.
Holiday viewing.
Yes.
Hey, how about this? Netflix putting a new spin on its annual Yule log video. You can now stream crackling fireplaces set in the worlds of Squid Game, Bridgerton, and Spellbound. The streams also include Easter eggs and animation tied to the shows we just mentioned.
I love that.
No matter where it plays or what the backdrop is, it just brings a little warmth around the holidays into your house, right? It could be just on your TV.
It's so simple, but it's so calming and it's nice, and you hear the crackling of the wood. It's great.
The best.
The old fake Yule log.
Oh, yeah.
Ken, thanks. Town of Cary is receiving national attention as one of the best Christmas towns in the South. Southern Living magazine named the top 18 holiday havens. Cary came in at number 13. The publication noted Cary's celebration of numerous holidays: the giant tree in the park, a gingerbread house competition, the Christmas parade, and much more happening there. Downtown Hendersonville, by the way, just south of Asheville, also made the list, coming in at number 12.
In some spots this morning, we take a live look at what's happening there in Roxborough this morning. I'll show you what it will look like when you head out the door.
Tazir Zarqa will take the stand today at his murder trial. What we can expect to hear in what is projected to be a lengthy testimony.
And Durham's Mayor Pro Tem hopes to fix rundown areas that he says attract crime. The $1 million agenda item for the city council that will help renovate the Fayetteville Street corridor.